hyperventilating.
I don't even know what to say. What do we say? We are ready and waiting to speak to, I think, our favorite guest of all time.
Yes,
right?
We are so dang excited, guys, because we have virtually known this person for almost a year now.
Yes.
We had the pleasure of meeting him for a few seconds last year when the Wiggles were here in Canada. It was like an unbelievable experience.
And
our kids were freaking, and we were freaking even more.
And you know who was freaking the most?
Who?
Our husbands.
Yes.
Were more excited to meet the Wiggles than our children and us put together.
Yeah.
So before we bring the one and the only Anthony Wiggle onto our chat right here and onto this JCC stage, we're going to tell you about a little giveaway that we have for you.
Yeah. So if you guys are just joining in, please say hi, drop your comments and your love for Anto in the comments below. We are so psyched to be talking to Anthony Field for the next like half hour, 45 minutes. This is so exciting. So generous of him to make the time for us today. He's all the way in Australia, of course, where it's what, noon?
It's noon on Thursday.
Incredible. But before we get started, we have a special giveaway from our friends at boohoo.ca. And this is very apropos.
Where is it? Here it is.
Right.
Here it is.
Wrong side.
They heard. They got wind of the fact that we are massive Wiggle fans and that we are speaking tonight to the Blue Wiggle himself. And so they are gifting one of you with a $50 gift card to their online store, boohoo.ca, with all the Wiggles merch licensed for North America, and all kinds of other things for your family to spoil yourselves.
You get like the whole Emma. It's mostly Emma. Emma is popular, right? So are the rest of the guys, including Anthony, but we do have a lot of Emma merch. There's like Wiggles merch that you can buy online. So if you guys want to win this $50 gift card, all you need to do is comment on this video. Every comment
is a chance to win, and you have to share it. So let's get sharing, because we want to share the love. We want to share this amazing experience with you guys, with your family. So with what do you say? No due, unfurther due. What do you say?
Without further
ado, what is wrong with my English? Let's bring in Mr. Anthony Field.
Wow.
Hi, Anthony. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
It's like we know you, but we know we don't know you. So how are you?
We're going really well. You know, it's Australia. We're the sun's coming out now, which is great. No, we're all good. We're relaxed here in the Wiggle studio. We've been making content for next year TV. We've got the Wiggle World back, and Australia's done really well with the COVID. Sydney's, pretty well almost back to normal, and Victoria, we had it really bad, but they really locked down, and they're coming out of lockdown, so things are pretty hopeful in Australia at the moment.
That was actually going to be our first question, right? How are you guys coping? And of course, you're on Thursday. We're still Wednesday night.
Yes.
So you're ahead of us, and we can see the sun shining. You're going into summer as well, which makes us
so jealous,
intensely jealous.
Well, I know in Canada that when you guys get winter, you really get winter. And we've toured Canada winters, and it's fascinating for us. And I always say to the guys, and I mean this respectfully, how do they live with this? That snow, I mean, it's beautiful, but functioning, with children.
Yeah.
I can imagine, going to the shops is just massive, because apart from all the extra stuff you have to take, you've got to put all the clothes, the gloves.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that. It's I'm barefoot 365 days a year.
We are beyond jealous. We love our country, but we hate the winter. So we absolutely agree. You guys come, you tour, and you take off.
And then you take off.
That's the magic of what you do, right?
But the interesting part is that we're both from the Southern Hemisphere, actually. I'm South African, and
I'm from Uruguay, from South America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we come from like Australian climates, right?
Exactly.
We had to adapt.
We're still adapting.
Well, the Australians have got a real close tie with South Africa because of sport. We play the same sports.
Rugby.
So, and the accents are kind of the same, although I think South African accents are more like New Zealand accents.
Yes.
But I got that. I didn't get Uruguay. That's a beautiful part of the world.
You've been there? Did you make it down there already?
I would love to go there. closest I've been is Mexico, but that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go further south. There's a lot to discover. It's a beautiful continent. Okay, so tell us a little bit about like what, you know, this last few months have been like for you. I mean, you're used to touring. You spend a lot of time on planes, hopping between cities and countries. What's it been like to just, you know, bring it back home and stay at home for so long?
What's been great is I've got to know my children again. Oh, my goodness. They're 13, 15 and 16. And all my life I've been leaving for 6, 7, 8 months a year.
Wow.
And to sit and watch them grow up, it's for me, it's been fantastic. It's been very special. But I'm not the only one. I know everybody amongst in our Wiggle World tours are part of the touring company, and they've all said that really that's the best part about it. That we've got to know each other again. And when we start touring again, if we ever do, it's going to be harder this time.
That's
going to be weird, huh?
That's for sure. So let's go back to pre-Wiggles days, if you wouldn't mind. And we're super interested in the fact that you were a musician and an early childhood educator. I mean, we did a little bit of research, we have to admit. How did you decide to mix the two and put the music with the teaching for the children?
You know, we had an incredible, becoming an early childhood teacher. I was there with Murray, and Greg went to university a little bit later, but I was there. I was studying early childhood with Murray. We had an incredible teacher, music teacher, Rosemary Hall, her name was, and she combined everything you do in the classroom for preschoolers with music. So if you wanted them to clean up the classroom, you'd make a song up, and she'd encourage you to do that. She was also a little bit eccentric, like a lot of preschool teachers, and I say that with admiration. So for the whole 3 years of music in education, we had to talk to a puppet. She had a puppet, and once the class started, we never spoke to Rosemary, but Bok the puppet. So this was such a great grounding in the beautiful, imaginative world that is early childhood. But to be honest with you, I've forgotten the question.
How did you decide?
Great story.
I mean, you're getting there. How did you merge teaching with music and actually decide, oh, we're going to make a group.
Yeah,
we're going to make a band.
This is something I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, while I was studying early childhood, I had a real collection of early childhood music from around the world. And that included Raffi from Canada and all really old early childhood Raffi.
Raffi.
How do you say it?
I would say Raffi.
Yeah.
Raffi.
Yeah.
Raffi. So he was incredible. But in Australia, I looked at who we had as well, and I thought, well, we could come from an early childhood perspective, make the language about children, and we've got the education now. So I decided to recruit Murray, who was there, Greg, who wasn't there, but I knew his voice, Jeff from the Old Cockroaches, which was a rock band we had, and there was a fellow at university, Philip, who was also on the staff, and asked him to play the piano too. So we just did this album then. Now, albums in those days were cassettes or LPs.
Yes. Oh, wow, LPs. That's like before me.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Before you guys were born. But that's what it was.
That's amazing. Amazing. So last Passover, I need to bring this up because it was so cute. We put up some Passover stuff and you said Dai Dayenu. And we looked at each other and we're like,
how on earth does he know that?
And then you told us about
Pesach, exactly. Pesach. He even says it with the right accent. So tell us about a little bit, okay, because we're actually live on a platform, not only on MomJoe, but the JCC, which is the Jewish Community Centers all around North America. And there are daycare centers within it that our kids have been a part of in some way, shape, or form. So when you told us you worked in a Jewish daycare, and still today, you're telling us Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, Dai Dayenu. Tell us.
I get kind of emotional thinking about my time at Temple Emmanuel, and I mean this. I was just out of university, and I was looking for a job, and as a preschool teacher, and Mrs. Hill was the director of the Temple Emmanuel, and she interviewed me for this job, and I said, look, I really want to make music part of it, blah blah blah, and she said, well, if we hire you, you'll be the first man and the first goy that we've ever had.
There we go. There it
The word
is.
goy, right? That was the word she used. And I had to look up what that was. But anyway,
What is
so
goy?
she said, look, this is 1993 or 2 or something. And, you know, even having a man in the preschool. Now, that was a big departure in those days. And then in a Jewish preschool, having a non-Jewish person too. And she said, we want the music, but you have to learn about the culture, and you have to wear the kippah, which I did. And do you know what? I got to know the community, and in those days, this was so early. We had I had so many great stories and sad stories and beautiful stories that I got to know the Jewish community so well. There was a liberal preschool. We had survivors of the Holocaust who had the grandparents who had the tattoos on their arms. Yeah, and you know, I had some terrible, amazing stories where where I got to know so much about the community, and I fell in love with the community. And I said to Rabbi Fox once, I would like to become Jewish. And he gave me the steps needed and everything. And, I actually didn't become Jewish in the end, but I feel like you know, at the Sabbath, I learned the prayer, you know, Baruch atah Adonai, all that. The kids, you know, the matzah balls. I once had so many, I got a tummy ache. I mean, then we had Israeli Independence Day, and we were marching around the kids were marching around with flags, and we had parents from all over the world, and one of the families from New York came in and had an argument with Mrs. Hilmer and saying that, you know, we were turning the kids into like fascists, going around with these flags. But what I learned, and what I learned from that, and which Mrs. Hilmer told me, and I'm sure she said, if you get 10 Jewish people together, you're going to get 10 different opinions.
Yes.
And I loved this discussions. Everything was up for discussion. Everyone had an opinion. I found it one of the most culturally invigorating times for me. I was very sad to leave, and that's why to this day I remember Dayenu, David, Melech Israel. Shalom.
You're pretty much part of the club.
You are as Jewish as they get.
And I had some real close friends who went back to Israel, and I'm still in contact with them. And oh my goodness, I just we had some little children come from Russia.
Oh, wow.
And I had to teach these little children. One of the girls' name was Sasha, and we nicknamed her Sasha the Basher because she was so frustrated not being able to speak English that she was. But I remember clean your hands was moi ruki. So I had all these things coming at me, and it was just the best time ever.
Such good memories.
Yeah, the best memories. I actually think if people want to, not that I was, I really never had any prejudice. I really don't think I ever did. But if you want to learn about a culture, live with them, work with them, and get to know them, you know.
I think that's a beautiful way of looking at things.
Yeah, you know, it was a beautiful time. Yeah.
That's so nice.
So on that note, in all seriousness, when and if COVID willing, you get to come back to Canada, to Toronto, can we please, Mom Jo, can we host you for a Shabbat dinner? And you can bring all the wiggles.
A wiggle Shabbat dinner.
Can we? And you send me and we'll play the music.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a date.
That would be
That'd
an
be
honor.
so nice.
It would be an absolute honor.
We'll do the whole shebang. We'll do the matzo ball soup. We'll do the challah. We'll do everything. We promise.
I would love it.
We'll put a kippah on you.
Yeah, again.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the kippah. I got presented with one from one of the children, and which was incredible. I've still got it with the little name on it.
Beautiful.
I'll bring it over.
So we have a lot of people watching
So many.
on Facebook and on the virtualjcc.com. So whoever's watching, share the love, share this video, give us some questions for Anthony. We're going to start with one question that's come from one of our audience members who happens to be male. His name is Brendan, and he reached out today to please ask you this question, which is, what was one of your favorite memories from when you did the Wiggles with Jeff and Murray and Greg?
Early days.
Yeah, well, do you know, our first concert, I just actually shared it on Instagram last night. Our first concert was at a preschool of a friend of ours. And then 4 years later, we were doing 13 sold out shows at Madison Square Garden. So you can imagine the whole thing was just an absolute, it was a laugh. It was like, how did this happen? So I think the whole time that we were together, we were mates, as we say in Aussie. And I don't have any bad memories of those times. And the fact that we got to tour the world, meet all these incredible people around the world, and I'm talking about families. We went to, I think, one of the culturally totally different to Australia. We went to China, and we did a tour of orphanages in China.
Wow.
So 98% of the orphanage, of the people at the orphanage, the children were girls.
Wow.
Which was very sad because of the how
the one child
the rules and all that sort of stuff. And English was not their first language by any means, but in those days, you'd be singing the songs, going, "Well, it's not really working." And then Dorothy the dinosaur would come out, and she related to everybody. So, and even in China, this is not a joke. In China, I don't know if you've been there, but they had big yak burgers made of yak.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they're called the big yak.
Yeah.
What's yak?
Yeah.
It's an animal. It's not a kosher animal. I don't know what it is.
Crazy.
A hairy animal.
Okay. Yak burgers.
Yak burgers.
Yummy.
Oh my gosh.
So those were the early days. And the question for you is, like, you're still mates with the first Wiggles. You are the only remaining first Wiggle. What was that transition like when the rest of the team retired, when you had to bring on a brand new roster of, fresh blood and fresh ideas and new voices and styles? What was that like for you? Just like navigating between that first experience and a brand new experience that you created?
Well, even just going back to the day that boys we came and said it at a meeting, they said, "Oh God, Jeff had heart troubles, which wasn't publicised, but his ticker was giving him some trouble. So he said, "Oh, I've got health reasons, guys." And then Murray wanted to spend more time with the family. So, but I was like, "Oh, well, I'd like to keep it going, So
this is good. This is good.
And I knew Simon forever, and I just became aware of Emma's talents in the last couple of months of when it happened. But I didn't know Lockie. And Katerina, our choreographer, said, "Oh, you've got to see Lockie. He's just beautiful." And but actually, we had a year of touring Australia where we had, 15 people, 20 people at a show. Like,
wow.
The Wiggles were kind of like, okay, they're over now. And it wasn't until we put TV together and people saw it on TV and went, okay, it's different, but it's still telling a story for our children. And then we started touring and the crowd started building. So, and then luckily we got to go to Canada again.
So nice.
And look at you now.
Yes.
Right? Look at you now.
Not bad. Tell us about the addition of the first female Wiggle and what that meant for your audiences and for yourself as, the person bringing it together. The girl with the golden hair.
For me, it was, I made a conscious decision to bring in a female Wiggle, which if we had started with thought when we started off, which wasn't at university, which was at university, but we didn't think about, it'd be great to be inclusive and all that. But we were just three guys hanging out together. That's why we got together for that. So it was really great to have a woman in the Wiggles. Before that, Dorothy was the female.
Right.
Now, I made a conscious decision to sort of bring the characters down a little bit to introduce Emma, maybe put Emma out front a little bit more than Simon and Lockie, and that's been fantastic, very successful. But what's great about it is that for the next year, we've got this amazing set for our TV. We're about to do new TV, which is the Wiggle World, and we're going to bring Dorothy back a lot more, and Wags, and Henry, and
Captain
Feathersword,
all those guys. Now, Captain's the only guy that can relate to all the old stories I tell, because he's been with us for 27 years of the 30 years.
Well, is it true that you started out as Captain Feathersword?
I did. And what happened is I was living in a flat in Bellevue Hill in Australia, and I was sharing the flat with a dancer from West Side Story, which was on at the time. Oh. And that dancer's boyfriend was Paul Paddock, who was Captain Feathersword.
Wow.
Now he would come in. They would come in after their performances, and he would have me in hysterics every night, recounting what happened at the show that day. And he's as funny off stage as he is on stage.
So funny.
So one day, crazy thing happened. I popped a hernia, and the Wiggles were about to go on tour, and he was having a break from West Side Story, and I said, Paddy, would you mind filling in for me? It's like Captain Feathersword. You know, unrehearsed, he went off and did the show, and I never did Captain Feathersword again, and he stayed with us.
You took your job.
Yeah.
Good story.
No one in the world, including my mother, would say that I did it better than Captain Feathersword. And Paddy, he's the best.
He was born for that role.
Yeah.
He was born for that role. Okay, we have to get into talking about the parody that we made, because we have a little surprise backstage. They're going to come on in a second. But basically, we just want to tell you a little bit about this parody, because yes, we hounded you and tracked you down and sent it to you and kind of made you watch it through social media. And then you were so kind to invite us to the show last year to actually meet you backstage, which was just honestly a highlight.
And hold on, just let me just make a break, make a little pause here. When we put it out to you, when the ad said, you know what, we're going to send it to Anthony, I was like, they're never, never.
He was like, whatever. He's never going to respond.
Whatever.
I was like, I'm going to try. Don't you worry. And you were so kind to respond. But we have to tell you that almost didn't get published, because we filmed it. There were 4 of us, and we filmed it on a rainy, cold day in the park.
When
most of it.
Brittany was 3 months pregnant or 2 months pregnant.
Yes, one of the other Jiggles was pregnant. We elicited our friends to come in to do this. It took 2 days to film, and it's a really long story. But long story short, it was almost a year. And we thought we'd lost the footage. We thought it wasn't going to happen. We weren't happy with the editing. Then we found it.
We found like a rough cut from a month after we shot.
And then she put her editing magic to it. It was a month before you guys were coming to Canada. And I'm like, we are publishing this in 2019. And we're going to meet the Wiggles. And then we did. So thank you.
Manifested. Thank you.
Absolutely. So maybe you can play a little bit of the intro as we...
How are you all feeling today? Sleep deprived! 5 p.m.
2 years after, we're a little less sleep deprived than we were back then.
Okay, let's bring in the mamas.
Yo, Yuri!
Hi.
That's right there. So, Anto, we knew that you wouldn't bring the rest of the crew, so we brought the rest of our crew, the Jiggles. And Brittany and Rochelle. Hi, guys.
Hi everyone. Hi, Anthony.
How are you? Sensational. It's great to meet you all.
We really hoped that all 4 of us, when we created this, we really hoped that the intention would come across that it was a massive compliment, because we were such massive fans.
Fully.
And we were into making parodies for our mom community. And we thought, what if the Wiggles were made for parents? And this is what we came up with. So Brittany and Rochelle, thanks for joining us. I believe they have a question.
Yes. Yeah. Rochelle, go for it. Go for the first question.
Hi, Anthony. How are you? So my question to you is, what is your favorite Wiggle song?
you know, it has to be what you just did, Rockabye Your Bear, because I've just noticed that that's pretty well the first song a baby learns or responds to the Wiggles. You know, they do and it was written while we were still at university. So it's a song that you can do as parallel play, because children don't like to partner, as in hold partner, but they can do all the actions next to each other and still be playing together, but have their own little sense of themselves. So I love it. It's so simple and a nice melody. So I love it.
Yeah.
And you guys did it the best.
It is a great
fun.
song. I mean, I feel like we all kind of like Rochelle, your kids are older now, but we still have young kids over here. Like we still enjoy dancing and singing that song with our little ones.
And bowing
right?
to your partner.
Bowing to your partner and Rock by Your Bear. Like they're fantastic little beautiful movements. It's a good tune.
Awesome. Britt, you're next.
Hi everyone. Hi Anthony. So actually I have to say the baby that I was pregnant with in that video, she's now a year and a half. And she loves Rockabye Your Bear too, and all the Wiggle songs. And so we love your music. And so my question for you is, when you originally started the Wiggles, did you ever intend for it to be an international hit with everybody in the world, or did you think it was going to be more local?
Totally local. In fact, when we went to the ABC, it was like, I guess, the Canadian Broadcasting.
The CBC?
CBC.
Yeah, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
Well, they said to us, there is no market for what you want to do, but we can put it out. You might sell 300 or 1,000 copies. And it was, I was teaching preschool at the Temple Emmanuel, and it came to the stage where we actually we had a meeting saying, hey, this is actually taking off. Do you guys want to leave? Because Murray was teaching as well. Do you want to leave the preschool? And I really had to think about it, because I was so attached to the children, to the family, to the preschool. And I went and saw Rabbi Fox and said, and Cantor Deutsch, that was who was there too. And I went and saw them and said, I think I have to leave because the Wiggles have taken off. And you know what Rabbi Fox said? We hate the Wiggles. He hated it because we were leaving, because I had to leave. But it was that sort of on the precipice of, well, you can make a living out of this, or you can keep teaching. So it was never meant to be a life for us. It was just meant to be something to do in the for time.
Oh no, nice. That's great. Yeah, thank you.
That's an incredible story. You've become, such a reference for kids' music. Like in the last 30 years, you guys have really made such a dent and such an impact in our kids' upbringing and in our general culture. My question for you, and it's kind of following up to what Brittany asked, is let's talk musical influences. I was reading your Wikipedia, and it says that you like Julio Iglesias. Who?
I do. In fact, I love all his Spanish music, not his English stuff so much. Like the Tango album he did.
Wow.
I'm an absolute freak on Julio, and I got to meet him in Miami, Florida, which I was the only English first language guy there, right? And I took my friend Fernando Miguel, and he was translating. This was the funny part of the thing. He was translating everything Julio was saying, and then Julio said something in English to me, and Fernando translated it in English to me. I said, I got that one. We had a fun time. But I met Julio, and I got photos with him. It was one of the greatest days of my life. His tango dancers loved the Wiggles. And it was like, but his room, I went backstage into his room, and there were 15 to 20 women in there, all dressed up. And Julio was in his bathrobe. And it was just surreal.
What a stereotype of Julio Iglesias.
It really was. And I'll tell you something else. We had an amazing time. We met, became friends with Joey Fatone from
NSYNC.
NSYNC, there you go. Yeah. And he took us to his house in Miami, and he had his own teppanyaki bar. Teppanyaki.
I don't know what you were signaling there. I thought
teppanyaki. And not only that, he had the world's biggest water slide in a house, like
Oh.
so he had a basic water slide, and he had Kit, the car from Knight Rider, that's in his garage. And he had a collection of amazing things. And he told me a story that he met Gene Simmons once, and Gene Simmons signed a belt for him, one of Gene Simmons' belts, and he's got it up there. And next to it, after it, a week later, Gene Simmons sent him an invoice for $5,000. And Joey's got that framed as well. So all these crazy things happen. Wiggles, you know, but yeah, I love you, Julio, man, I love you.
What a life.
Do you want me to get the other Wiggles to come and say hello? They're in the building.
Oh my God! Well, if they're close by,
OMG.
I want to come say hi.
Yeah.
Freak out a little bit.
I think we should.
But you guys, can you talk amongst yourself for 5 seconds? Tell them
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello.
Talk amongst ourselves. We got time. What time is it? Yeah, we're fine.
Amazing. What are we going to talk about?
Look at my kids. I'm like, what?
Okay,
Like,
everybody
listen, I
who's
kind of wish
watching.
our kids were here
I
right
know,
now,
right?
That they weren't all sleeping.
They're going to have to watch this on the replay tomorrow because we can. It's going to be saved on Facebook. If you guys want to meet the rest of the Wiggles, let's see your comments. We're
Yes.
watching you on Facebook. Come on, people. Give us likes. Give us hearts. Share this video right now before they come on so everybody can get to meet them.
Yes,
This is
and if
so
you
cool.
want to win $50 to Boo Boo to get some like Wiggles merch that you can get for yourself. I mean, if you want to sport the bow, you can do it too. Or if you want to get something for your kids, all you need to do is share this video and drop some comments below. We're gonna tell you who the winner is tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Very
He's like,
exciting.
he was like, do you mind just talking about yourself? I'm like, go and call Lucky, Simon, and Emma.
Hold on, there he is. There he is. Oh,
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi,
Hey,
Simon.
girls.
Simon
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
guys.
There you go. Nice to
I'll
see
you
you.
over.
We had the absolute pleasure of meeting you guys last year in October following our parody that we put out. And we are so grateful that you watched it, listened to it, and agreed to actually meet us. Because we're not weirdos. We just love your music.
Promise we're not stalkers. How are you guys doing? How has COVID life been like for you guys? Lucky, congratulations.
Yes, Simon, congratulations.
Simon, almost congratulations.
Yeah, people don't know. Lockie said twins, which is incredible.
That's
I mean,
Two of them. Two of them.
Yeah, they look.
two of them, not one, but two. And Emma, as you can see, we got ourselves kitted
yeah, girl.
out.
Yeah,
I mean,
girl. Look at this.
I love your bows. Can you bring them up closer so we can see them? They're lovely. Did you make them yourselves?
No, they're official merch.
their official merch that when a brand here in Canada heard that we were doing this tonight, they reached out and sent us all of this because they are your biggest fans and
Look,
they
Emma.
sell all your merch.
Oh, the
Oh, wow.
bees. Oh, nice.
Look at this one. Check out this Leafy sequence one. This is amazing.
Oh,
This-
that looks lovely.
Yeah, we tried to put it on, but it was too small for us. But
She has a really big head though.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna say.
massive.
So how are you guys doing? You're going into summer. You must be very excited.
The weather is getting warmer, but we've had some moments of complete rain. That's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
crazy.
Incredible.
Oh god.
Well, you guys had a pretty savage like wildfire season, right? So it's
Yeah.
good, right? To keep it a little more moist. Sorry for using that word.
While we have the four of you here, we want to ask you, which was probably one of the last questions we were going to ask today, but we'll just bring it up because you all four are here. What's next for the Wiggles?
Yeah,
what
what
can
are
we
you-
expect?
What are you up to?
Well, we've been filming a new TV series called Ready, Steady, Wiggle 3. So we're in the midst of that. Lockie's been busy with twins. So we're doing lots of filming, lots of recording. We've got some penciled in dates for next year to do some live shows. But of course, as you can imagine, that's still very much penciled in at the moment with everything that's going on. But yeah, well, we've been going well. Lots of filming, lots of content, so which is good.
You know,
Nice.
the sad thing for us, we were, yeah, I was eating well. The sad thing for us, we were going to do our first Canadian summer tour this year.
Oh,
Yeah, we were so excited. Anyway, hopefully.
we would have been front.
we would
right?
have been there.
Front row.
You know, you guys know you have so many people who love you on this side of the world, like beyond. Lucky, how's the juggle though? How's the juggle between, you know, parenthood, two tiny babies, and having to get this new series done?
This is my first week back at work, so it's been fun. This morning, driving to work, I actually thought I would fall asleep.
Wow.
It's a bit dangerous, so we got to
Wow.
look out for that.
Yeah, how's the coffee intake?
Has Mum Jo got tips for parents of twins?
Oh gosh, do you want to hear the censored version or the uncensored version?
Never had twins.
Oh, for twins. Well, my brother had twins.
Oh, that's true.
And
That's true.
I had two babies 17 months apart, which they say can actually be worse than twins. But we've got 3 kids each. We can do it. We can bring us 3 babies. What's twins? Give us.
I've never done twins. I can't even imagine, but I think it's so awesome. Lots of coffee, right? Lots of like just living for the moment, focusing on like the right now versus, your next day when you're probably going to be sleep deprived and exhausted.
Yes.
Just, staying fueled and positive.
And get some help. That's what I'd say.
And get all the cuddles because you have double the cuddles, right?
Double the cuddles. Cuteness. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you guys so much for coming on here. We are a bit like sort of taken aback because we were not expecting
this. This is so nice.
We're getting through our amazing questions here. But what kind of advice have you got, Anthony, for Lucky and for Simon about their parenting days ahead?
I've already given the advice. I think it's just it's just sensational having children, and it gets better and better. The advice is that the first 6 weeks are an absolute write-off. Yeah. And I also said that only yesterday I was saying the men, all we can do is grab the baby, bring the baby, grab the baby. It's really the mums that are doing all the. Would that be right? Hard work.
We're a conduit.
Yeah, they're the conduit. Just
unless you get one of those harnesses, those harnesses with the baggies, they exist. Just saying.
You can do the cooking. You can massage the feet. There's lots you can do. Hey, Emma.
Yes, like so many jobs that they could be making.
No, I'm saying that we are support. We're the support team.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you got to be there to support all the time. But
it's the best.
Yeah.
May I just say one thing while I have your attention, and this is directed at Emma. I have to tell you that YouTube video where you do your whole solo dance to that Justin Timberlake song.
Oh yeah.
It blew my mind. I actually called Carolina. I'm like, you have to watch this song, this dance that Emma has done.
Because you're so beautiful as Emma Wiggle, but you're also so beautiful as Emma, right?
As a dancer, yes.
Incredible.
Oh, we're such big fans.
Yeah.
And I will say that also we were discussing today when we were speaking about the questions, how inclusive and kind all of you are, and you never cease to amaze us. So, it's so admirable. Thank you.
That was lovely. Thank you. That's really nice.
Amazing. Okay. Woo. We don't want to let you go, but we know we have to.
It's been great
working, guys.
It's been so amazing. Best of luck for everything. And we mentioned to Anthony that when you're next in Canada, in Toronto, we will see you. We will track you down. Oh, yes, we will.
We'll teach you all about Shabbat.
Ceremony. We're doing the Shabbos ceremony.
Yeah, you're coming for Shabbat. It's very simple.
Yeah. With some challah. Challah is fantastic. It doesn't count. The calories don't count.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my God!
They used to bring it to the preschool.
Of course.
And they'd have to hide it from me because the kids wouldn't get it by the time I had to go. It's so beautiful.
When we would go and pick up our kids on a Friday from Jewish daycare, we would have to go inside, and then the daycare people would offer us challah, and we're like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you've got an extra
piece?" But did the kids make it though? Did the kids make it?
Oh my gosh, we have so many beautiful comments here.
So many beautiful comments.
Rona is saying, Emma, please say hi. Lucky, congratulations. Lots of screenshots Charisse is taking. Jenna is saying, please tell Ento I say hi. I mean, it is just blowing up.
Natalia says, spectacular. I love them. Actually, my sister came on earlier today and she had an important message. She said, she wanted to say thank you. She has 2 kids. She has one kid who's 3.5. The other one is 1.5. They absolutely love the Wiggles. Every time I go over to her house, they're watching. And she's saying that she wants to say thank you to Anthony and the Wiggles for the amazing content that you guys put out so quickly during quarantine.
Oh,
how reactive you were. Digital Party, Fruity in My Hat. She knows all of them. They love the songs and they'll always remind you of the special time at home together. Wow, guys, what a dent.
Yeah.
You've created a really, really special legacy that will live on for generations, decades, who knows. My husband even heard that you guys were here, so he's peeking in to see you because he's like, what is going on in our basement?
He's standing against the column like this.
He's like, I want to see you.
You'll watch later.
You can watch later. Thank you guys so much. We are so appreciative. We won't keep you anymore. Have a beautiful day, and we'll be watching and sharing all your stuff always.
100%.
Pleasure. Thank you. Lovely to see you again. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Bye, guys. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. We're going to have to write another parody for you.
Yeah. The second batch is coming soon.
I don't even know how to turn this off, but I'm.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. All the best. Enjoy the summer.
You're still there.
Oh, you're still okay.
Oh, my cheeks.
Oh, my
wow.
cheeks are hurting.
Hey, we cannot stop smiling.
How
what was that?
wonderful was that? Like, I'm not even over it, and I won't be over it for a long time.
We have like 1 million hearts and likes and comments. You guys have been amazing. Have a beautiful day. Honestly, that was like one of the highlights of our 4 years.
Yeah, it was just so kind of him to speak to us, and then to bring on the rest of the team was just, so special.
So non-diva of them, hey?
No.
Like, they are just not divas.
That's what's beautiful, right? Like, you grow up to watch these people on the screen, and you think they're just, from some other planet, and they're, people, hardworking people, just like us, artists, talented humans, just putting together so much love and wonderful stuff into the world. So
I think that aside from us, Rona is their next biggest fan, because she has been commenting all night long. She can't stop screaming her lungs out. I mean, for real, it's not just about their music and the joy that they've brought to our families. They're just such kind people, and we just appreciate that so much.
100%. It was truly, truly wonderful. And if you guys enjoyed this video, let us know. Drop it in the comments below. Share it if you enjoyed it. I mean, I feel like when we go to a Wiggles concert, like, it's so much about our children, but us parents who dig their music, who dig their like amazing energy and good vibes, really, really just enjoy the whole experience as well. So, it's not embarrassing to love kids' music. It's actually fantastic. It's nice to know that we had music that we can share with our children.
Well, that's the thing. We watch them grow up
Yeah.
with the music. They learn the songs. They learn the words, the bow to your partner. Then we turn around, woohoo, whippy.
It's whippy.
Whippy, yee. I don't know. We could do many versions of that. We're literally going to have to get working on our next parody. Okay. So if you guys have got ideas, you know where to send them. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
Natalia, thank you. She's saying, bravo, chicas. Sharice Atkins,
Natia.
thank you. Rona, big love. Sorry we didn't get to all your questions, but having the
We
four of
had
them
a lot
on-
more questions too, but we didn't know what to do because we prepared all our questions for Anto, and then the whole crew came on and we're like overwhelmed. We're like, what do we do?
And Brittany and Rochelle, thank you so much for
Yes,
everything, for like
yes.
sticking it out with us on that parody. Yuri in the background, Aiden, Jared, we're missing you. We could say thanks to everyone. We're just going to go now.
Thanks to everyone who watched. We're just gonna go and
watch the rerun,
drink a glass of water and just chill the heck down because we're just too excited.
That was awesome.
All right,
we will see you next week,
next Wednesday
on Mom Joe Talks.
Should we tell people what we're going to talk about next week?
Go for it.
Okay, so you know how we put out a lot of garbage as families, right? We put out a lot of trash.
Yeah, not garbage content. Garbage is trash.
Yeah, not talking about content.
Like, what is she going on about?
Talking about all the recycling stuff we put out there, all the garbage bags. We put out so much because we have a lot of people to feed and a lot of consumption in our homes.
Yes.
So we're trying to live more eco-friendly lives, get some good ideas. Are we going to be talking to somebody who knows all about it?
Oh, she's a beautiful mom of two. We've met her before. She's lovely, and we can't wait for her to share all her insights and her expertise on this particular topic next Wednesday night, 9 p.m., right here on the virtual JCC.
Woohoo! Thank you for watching, guys. We just had such a good time with you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
I was 27 when I got the Fonz and 72 when I got Gene Cousineau on Barry for HBO.
I think it's very important for parents to keep up a structure. So to have a time to get up, much like school, a time for exercise, much like school.
And I had already endured the most grueling test of strength and perseverance known to humankind, Hebrew school, everyone.
Every day I have some other event, and fortunately for all of this computer and for all of you young people, that we can all talk to each other.
I want to do this, and that everything you do helps you and moves you toward your dream.
I do have a cell phone. I'm not computer literate, but I can talk on the cell phone from morning till night.